Welcome to She's Not Trendy. I'm your host again.
I'm Slim.
I'm Shanika.
And today, because we've been talking about spirits, and it's family Thanksgiving time coming up, we have a deal breaker today, and that deal breaker is if you're invited to Thanksgiving dinner with a family member, and that family member is always started confusion. Whether it's at the event or after the event, and you really are just sick of that family member. Is that a deal breaker for you showing up to that Thanksgiving dinner?
You know me. I'm always going to say no. I feel as though I can deal with almost anybody's personality. So, And if we're talking about spirits and power and going to church and having the spirit of God, shouldn't we be able to pray against those spirits that that family member has? Like, why is it continuously that they still have the same spirits? Like, where is our power to like cast those spirits out? So I'm coming. Get
You're
some
coming.
ham.
So
Yes.
I lost it a little bit. So this is the person that always start confuse your house. You're going over.
Well, they
No, you're not going over
there.
to their house. They're
They come.
invited to that dinner.
Oh, they're invited to the same dinner.
Yes.
Okay, so at like the meeting place at grandma's house, and you know that person gonna be there.
Yes.
No, I'm going. I'm gonna
You
go.
going?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just keep my distance and make sure I stay where the love and the positivity is in the room.
So why keep your distance? Why not kill them with love and kindness?
Well, because I don't think that's the time to do that, because you don't never know which direction it can go. Because that person probably be on one that day, and probably like anything can set them off, and then now I'm to blame for that. So I would go, but I would just keep my distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I agree with both. Like Shanae, I keep my distance. Also, speak positivity in the environment. Yes, it's no issue with me.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't think I would go.
You would?
Really?
No. Because I'm at a place in my life where I want peace. And if I'm going to a space where I know after I leave or while I'm there, it's going to be confusion.
Okay.
And it's going to be drama. And it's going to upset or disturb maybe my week or just bring drama. I just don't want to be associated with it. So I think I would probably be at a place to not go.
But what about all the other family members that's like looking forward to see you, want to hear your humor, your jokes, and stuff like that? You just
I'm not gonna go.
Or what about the other
For
family
real.
member who know how to diffuse the situation?
Oh, right.
But it might not be
Yes.
about diffusing. It might be about that family member just being, like, I think that we have to stop, I don't know, like, inviting people who we know are, drama filled.
okay.
Well,
So I think that,
I
For
don't,
this family though, too.
Yeah.
well, it's
okay,
not so
so
much
imagine
necessarily
you leave.
Okay.
So let's say you do go.
Okay.
You go, you bring your children, y'all show up, and now a week later, there are telephone calls going through the family, something about your child, something about you, something whatever, and you knew this person is going to be there, and they always do these kind of things. So why would you continue to show up? It's harming yourself, your children. It's just drama. It's
So why
unnecessary.
even engage in it? You can just speak positive,
Right.
and if that person is there and speaking on a child or you or whoever, that's who it is. Speak positive. Speak against it.
yeah.
Because that's gonna keep the family.
Exactly.
But once you
Right.
know who a person is, this is my whole thing is, if you didn't know what a person or who a person is, it's something totally different. But once you
Exactly.
know who it is, why are you expecting anything different? So then you
I
have
don't
to set your mind at
Expect anything
peace.
different. I just decide I don't want to be a part of it.
I mean, that's a mature, to a certain level, but I just feel as though like it's always going to be that another person like that. I think sometimes God just wants you to pass that test, like of dealing with people that are so negative. Like, how can you show them and walk in love if you're just keeping or avoiding them? Like, and then
So you're saying
sometimes
choosing peace is not walking in love. If you choose to say I remove myself from that situation, that's not walking in love. You choosing peace.
well, I mean, I'm not going to say
Because God don't want you to be provoked.
He doesn't
either.
want you to be provoked
That
if
is
you're going to
Because
go
a
out.
lot
But
of spirits. Because let me just say, if this person is
Is the
bringing a spirit of
person's-
confusion,
is the person purposely trying to, or is that your own not able to accept the way that they are? Because if they're not meaning to do it, is not intentionally meaning to do it, then that's something
a lot of things that happen we don't mean to do. Talking about spirits, if I have a spirit of confusion on my life, why I allow that spirit of confusion, I might not purposely, I might not wake up and be like, oh, I'm going to start some confusion today, right? Mm-hmm. But if you are susceptible to that spirit and it's living and working through you, mm-hmm. just like if a spirit of anger living and working through you, you might not wake up and say, I want to be angry today or I want to start confusion. But if the moment brews for that to happen, so now you have an opportunity because now you're sitting there feasting with the family, that spirit of confusion. So you see things. When you leave, your mind, that spirit is working. It wants to start confusion within the family.
I don't
know.
Sometimes,
why not, if that person start confusion, why not get together with all the family members that are positive and tell that person that if he or she start that, remove yourself. Why not do that instead of?
I don't think it works that way though, right? I don't think confusion works this way. Just imagine, okay, we're talking about Thanksgiving or family because it's that time of year,
exactly.
Right? We know this happens in families this time of year. We know people are going to go to Thanksgiving dinners, and we know somebody's going to talk about somebody later on. It's going to travel through the family. I'm saying, why keep inviting those people to the feast? Make them sit out.
But
or
maybe they had changed, and then you know
that person ain't changed.
Or maybe only one person. Maybe only 3 people feel that way. Maybe the rest of the family does not feel that way about them.
So is it wrong for a person who feels that way to remove themselves from that situation and say, "I would like to be at peace"?
Well, are you a person that goes to church? Are you just a person that you know? Just in general, I'm just asking.
Right,
because
the person could be a person that goes to church. Are we? But I'm asking, are we saying that spiritual or godly person cannot choose to remove themselves from a place where confusion is going to be?
Yes, but is it okay? I mean, yes. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Just the thought that's coming to my mind, Tierra, because it's family.
Okay.
That is the thing that's
family
ringing
on. People too. Family. God says, "Who is my family?"
Right. But if a family is still taking the effort to get together. Right. So there's opportunities and possibilities that something can, work its way out. Now, would I confront that person? No, I'm not. I'm going to stay on this side of the room. I'm going to laugh and joke with whoever over there and keep that person,
Let's say you did that last year. And they said, oh, Shanae was acting funny. She was being snobby. Her kids. She was on that side of the room and she didn't even really speak to me. Or she half spoke and I felt the energy was off. And she called us now. The person done called the family. He or she done called the family. So now this year you say, I tried that last year. I tried to just show up and be with family, and I still got talked about, and it still was a lot of drama. Do you propose for that person not to come to Thanksgiving dinner, or do you just stay at home and keep the peace with your small family?
I'm going to still go.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you this. I mean, it's a little different, but, I was at work, and I used to have this job, and one of my supervisors, I knew that they didn't particularly like me, but I just speak to anyone and everyone, because it lets me know if you don't speak back that you don't particularly care for me, right? But I'm going to kill you with niceness, because the only thing that you can possibly say is that Shanika is so friendly and nice. She speaks to everyone. Now, I know that I possibly could be getting under your skin by speaking to you if you don't like me, but you would never know that as my motive. And I'm not purposely trying to get you underneath your skin. I'm just saying, hey, listen, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am because of you. And so I'm just saying, like, I didn't quit my job because someone didn't like me or they had a spirit. I know, but I'm just saying that I would still go to Thanksgiving dinner, even if that person is there. And I think I would try to kill them with niceness.
By what? Like, are you just speaking to them, or are you really trying to engage in a conversation?
No, I'm going to speak to them, and I'm going to try to engage into a conversation. Because, listen, if I know what they're talking to me about in my family, or it has gotten back to me, at that present point in time, I feel as though I have the one up. So I can use that as leverage, right? So now we can...
But what kind of spirit is that? Is that a godly spirit to do something that's leverage?
Yeah, because God has given you a spirit... No.
We're talking about spirits. We're talking about spirits. We just use this as an example.
But isn't it the same thing that God doesn't keep you in the dark? So I'm not saying, okay,
but
so...
God also says don't mingle with those that's not subject to change. And God also says that people provoke you to anger.
Well, are you provoked to anger because
I
you feel
could
as
be.
though
I could be provoked to anger because I'm human, right? So that person could say one thing too many and I could go off. I mean, it could be because this is the thing about spirits. Spirits are coming to accomplish something, right? People the person behind that spirit may not realize that they are trying to accomplish something, right? Just like if you have a spirit of love or peace and you are giving, you're accomplish. It's set out to accomplish and do something,
yes.
right? So if you have a spirit of confusion on you, I'm not saying that. Why not to confront that person and say, you know what, you really have a spirit of confusion, and every time you leave the family or leave here or come to a family gathering, it's something that's unsettled with you. You start confusion in the family. So why can't that? Well, that should be confronted. If you're not gonna confront that, I say to me for myself, I'm gonna stay at peace.
I was saying that.
Or you would confront the actual thing that's going on.
Yeah,
with
that's
them.
what I was saying. You know,
at Thanksgiving dinner though.
Not at Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, you're just saying period.
Before they get to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
dinner.
what I was saying. Before they
Yeah.
get, if all the positive people in the family, you know, discuss this one individual and speak on, and you know, call that person and say, if this happened or this happened, you know, we have to let you go. That's it.
Right.
You know, and it come to some kind of conclusion with the family.
Okay. That's what I agree. Like we have to, like, you're not invited to
Okay, why can't we just pray against that spirit?
Yeah.
And like, why is still here after all these many years? Like, I mean, I'm just asking. Like, if you really go to church and you read your Bible and you have all this power like God has, right? Then Tanya said confront it.
I agree with you.
And why is the person out the family?
And why is not cast out by now? Like,
I mean,
exactly.
Why?
Because you
Right.
continue
because
on
the
and
people
continue
or the people that's receiving that person on phone or in their house or whatever, they're not stopping them in their tracks and saying, "Hey."
No, I'm just saying, like,
because
in
that's got to be
my family, we
stopped in their
stop it
tracks.
because
Yeah,
I'm
you
the
gotta.
one stopping.
Okay,
Okay, Tanya.
Stop them in their tracks.
Seriously,
Yeah.
with my family, I really do that
believe
because
you.
oh yeah,
Yes.
you need to. For real,
My
we are
girl.
stopping.
Tanya said
Right.
period.
Yes.
We already
She said-
discussed
she said
that.
that's
And
on
it's on
Jesus.
family taxes. This happened, you're not coming. If you're not doing this, you're not coming.
Because
Period.
spirits are
You know?
energy, and if you're not stopping it or if you're feeding it, it's going to grow.
Okay.
That's how I see it. It's going to grow.
It does.
Right.
It get worse.
So we're going to agree to disagree.
Okay.
You're going to come to Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You're
come.
going to come
I'ma
to
come
Thanksgiving
too.
dinner.
I'ma say hi.
Of course I'm coming.
And I'm not coming.
Okay.
I ain't showing up because you know what? God has blessed me and I can make my own little Thanksgiving dinner and I have my own little family and they can eat there, eat wherever, and I'm going to take a nap and watch a movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we got? 2 and 2?
Yeah.
3.
Three.
Tanya
said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tanya said
Okay.
she coming.
Yeah.
So you
Because
by
they're not
yourself.
I don't
coming.
think it's a wrong. I don't think it's a wrong answer or right answer. I'm just
Right.
saying I'm at a space where I'm just not gonna show up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, talking about spirits, we are talking about a very hot topic in Baltimore today, and also in other national news. We're talking about the death of Timothy Reynolds by a squeegee worker. There's been a lot of talk about squeegee workers in Baltimore. We're not going to get that far into it.
Okay.
But we did want to talk about the incident and I just want to ask everyone, how do they feel about, at one point, they were charging him as an adult and they were offering him, I think, like a plea bargain, like if he agreed to life or something. And then he turned that down and then they offered him juvenile. Well, there was talk of a plea bargain for manslaughter for juvenile, and that didn't go through. So the last couple of days, they decided to charge him as an adult. He was 14 at the time, and he's 15 now.
Wow.
So, just talking about the story, because the spirit of anger to me, was there and it set out, and somebody lost their life and another person is possibly facing a lot of jail time. There's a lot of aspects to the story I want to discuss if anybody wants to speak on it.
Okay. So, prayers and condolences to the family. What's his name again?
Timothy Reynolds.
Timothy Reynolds. I don't agree with charging him as an adult. I do believe that they should proceed with, charging him as a juvenile. But I wanted to share, and I know you say you don't want to get too deep into it, but from from what's on the media, to my understanding, this guy got out the car, right, with a bat. Okay.
I want to talk about the story. I didn't want to talk about the squeegee workers and stuff around them before this happened.
Oh,
but
okay.
yes, the story. Yes, we
Okay.
can. Yeah, we can talk about the
But
story.
it's kind of diving into that, like with my own personal experience.
Sure.
So is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, there was something that already was like an altercation took place, right? My condolences, and I'm being very careful for what I'm about to say, but prior to COVID, traveling back and forth to work, I would pass those squeegee boys on 83, right? And I'm in my car mentally preparing myself for work, and they would knock on the window and ask like, "Do you want your windows wiped?" I would say, no, right? I do got tinted windows, so it did take them some time to see like how am I responding. So in telling them no, they would take a heart and just write on my window, right?
Right.
But I've also seen myself personally, they will go up to other people's cars, and there were some people that act like they don't even see them. So the squeegee boys will probably take that as, okay, you still want your windows washed, because if not, you would have told me no, right? So I would see them, wash the windshield, and then when they reach that, like, are you gonna pay me? They still act like they don't see, that they don't see them. And I can see the point of me bringing that out. I can see how a confrontation could have started, because like, you let me wash your windows and you didn't even say anything, and they out there busting their butt.
Exactly.
And I commend them, and I don't want to call them squeegee boys. They hustlers.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And I was
They
going to
all
work at 9:00 in the morning, and they was out there. And if you go further up, you got people just asking for money.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I work hard for my money, and you just sitting out here with a cup. Like, God bless you, but they're trying to work. So that's my feedback, and I know, I probably went a little bit too deep.
No, absolutely. That was very helpful, and I'm glad you shared that, because the same experience, a lot of times when they come up to me, even if I've cash apped them, I don't have any money, and sometimes I don't even want you to wash the windows because the truck be so dirty. I'm like, if you wash the windows, that's really gonna show up how dirty this truck is. Right?
Oh, Jesus.
When I was going, when I used to go to work, so I'm like, no, just, and they will put the heart, know, on the window. And I thought that sometimes that was just the act of like love and service, and it's like it can really brighten a person's day.
Yes.
Meanwhile, again, I'm traveling into Canton, into that area, and you have a lot of Blacks, you have a lot of whites, and I experienced the same thing that Snell was saying she experienced, where you see people act like they don't exist. I've never had a problem with the squeegee workers.
Never.
Yes, I think that if you're afraid of Black young boys and they're out in the street and they're approaching you, then there's another element going on there.
Right.
But because I'm not afraid of young Black men,
right,
and I know what they're out there doing, I'm not thinking that they're about to harm me. They're out there working. These squeegee workers are making $200 or $300 a day, or more. They are working. Yeah. They are, they have a hustle, and I commend them. As far as the story is concerned, I feel a lot of ways. Okay. And I'm very angry because, number one, for a 14-year-old Black male, I don't care he's a Black boy, he's a child. Mm-hmm. And if there's something petty or something like that, a grown man that is 48 years old should have enough self-control to handle a situation, opposed to getting out of a car and wielding a metal bat. And to me, it just says I'm white, I'm privileged, and I can do it because I want to do it. There was no fear of the police. So whatever this boy did, even if this boy did something that was confrontational, I don't know. We don't know what he did, right? This person that did this, his character is not above that, because look what he turned around and did. He has a metal bat in his car, and he decides that he's going to see young Black boys again. Number one, in American history, Black boys, Black children don't belong. They're not seen as children. They're not seen as belonging to somebody's mother or father or sister or brother. They're seen as just the N-word. Right. Mm-hmm. And I'm very angry. I'm disgusted because, yes, it's very sad that this happened and this man is dead from his actions, but he brought this consequence against himself. Right. Now, is it just that that he's dead? No. But if you are big and bad enough to get out of a car and weld a bat at anyone, whether it be, and I think that he was saying, I'm going to kill you. I think I heard somebody in one of the videos months ago, it may have been one of the lawyers say that's one thing that they said, that this man said, I'm going to kill you.
The one with the bat.
The one with the bat.
Okay.
So to me, I feel like if you're 14 years old, number one, your brain is not developed as an adult.
Right.
Number two, energy, spirit. So you have the spirit of anger. This man is angry. He's bringing all of this negative energy towards you. And what is this young black boy supposed to do? Oh, he's walking away now? I feel safe all of a sudden? Right. No, that energy is still pumping through your veins. That fear, that anger is still pumping through your veins, and you're not thinking. Number one, he's not old enough to think rational. The person that should be thinking rational is that 48-year-old man who got out of the car. And I think that he should not be locked up for murder. I do think that he should be rehabilitated because we do want him to process, to stop, to debrief, and to process what he could have done better in that situation. I'm sorry this man is gone, but I think it should be a lesson to people who think they can do whatever they want to do to our black children. Stop. Please stop. Right. Because, unfortunately, my heart goes out to this boy's family. And while I feel bad for the children of Mr. Timothy Reynolds, I think that if I was searching my heart as his wife, and I would search my heart and I would know that my husband made a very bad decision that day and it cost him his life. And, even if it wasn't a race issue, if my husband, a black man, got out the car and wielded a bat against another black young child or a white boy, even if it was a white boy, it would not be a thing of race. I would be very sad that my husband did that, but he also created an action that cost him his life. And some things, growing up, people say you would get killed for that. You get killed for something like that. And while we don't want that to happen, he got killed for something that he did. Right. But I think that, this is awful. I think it's political. I think they're using this case as a political case. Number one, to come against Marilyn Mosby. I think they're using this as a political case to say, look, these squeegee workers should not be out on the corner making money. This just proves that we're right about this and they're violent. No, I think that it was totally self-defense, because if somebody comes in my house and somebody attacks me or somebody attacks me, who's to say my level of anger can just be shut off at that moment? It's just a spirit. It's energy. That energy was at work, and he got more than he asked for. I agree. What do you say, Tanya?
Well, my experience going down there, actually, I never tell them to actually, do my windows. I just give them money.
Right.
I never had problems. As far as the case, I do not believe he should be charged as an adult. That's number one. Secondly, with young black boys, doing service for the community, meaning or people that come in to our community. I think that's a good thing, because we have Caucasians out there that are drug addicts, alcoholics, that don't do anything. They have a cup and they stand on a corner every day, and the cops does not do anything. They harass people, bang on the windows as well, which I don't think they do. If they are, they just want, to see if, you want your windows,
right,
white.
But the ones just with the cup, they banging on your windows?
Yeah, they'll do.
They'll tap.
They'll tap.
Yeah, they'll
and
tap.
They'll come up to you.
They'll come
with
up
the
to you
cup,
directly with the cup.
Or they have a sign. They have a sign,
right,
in your like
this,
harassing you, and nothing is done to them. But when it comes to our young black boys who actually is giving service to get money, right? Which we create all the time, black Black people always create jobs and white people always taking it from us.
Yes.
So my theory is I believe that they want their child or significant other out there doing it because actually
I see them out there now. I see the
Martin
white boys
Luther
out there
King.
now.
I seen
Yes. Oh, yes.
Dundalk.
I see them.
Really?
I see them
They
in Baltimore
out there.
City.
Oh, okay.
and they're not saying anything. I went down to Canton. There's a cop there now. I guess because what happened with that shooting around Canton. But needless to say, I don't think he should be charged at all. Yes, he should be rehabilitated. I think that us as a community, we do need to actually go out there and support him. I do believe that because when we speak about it and don't do nothing about it, it's like
they're just doing whatever they want.
Yeah,
after that news conference with the family's lawyer, that he didn't make it to mayor, but after his conference, the judge did not allow the juvenile to be charged as a juvenile. And I think that we need to get out there as Blacks, and we need to say this is absolutely unjust.
Exactly.
This is unjust. And we need to. I'm just very disgusted. I don't care if they threw a rock at him after he got the car. He should have never pulled over. He's a grown man, and he should have never pulled over and charged that people's children with a metal bat, screaming vulgarity, threats, or whatever he was doing. He's 200-pound man, and they said that this young boy is 126 pounds, and he's 14 years old.
That he came three lanes.
He parked his car, got out with a bat.
Yes.
Listen, I don't know, even though they hit him with a brick or a stone or a rock or whatever, they don't know what that man was going to his car to get, right? They don't know, and then you want, I don't know.
I think one of the issues, they do know that they make money and they're there every day.
Yes. And they're hateful.
And it's nothing but hate and jealousy and envy because they giving a service and they see them getting, money because they're doing it. And it's just nothing but jealousy. They created something and actually doing well with it. Because not only that, they have to be doing well because the mayor already implemented or wants to give them $350 a month. So something they doing is good. I think it's all jealousy and envy when it comes to the white people. Always.
Yes, I did. I think so as well. Okay, we're going to take our break right now. We'll be back with She's Not Trendy.
We must secure our families. KFG Life Insurance Specialist is a company that partnered with 15 of the top life insurance companies to ensure you get the best pricing, knowledge, and products to suit your family needs. Some people believe that term insurance is better than whole life insurance, while others feel the complete opposite. Some may feel like universal life is the way to go, and others may feel it's better to have a whole life policy. The truth is, neither of the products are better. One just may be more suitable for your family. Our life insurance specialists are not biased as they are partnered with several life insurance companies. This ensures our clients get the best pricing education and products that are suitable for their families. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist make these decisions easier for you and your family. Our office is located at Security Square Mall, next to Burlington in the CoyoteMan Show Network. Please call to make an appointment at 443-400-5224 or go to www.lifeinsurancespecialist.org. That's www.lifeinsurancespecialist.org. Let KFG Life Insurance Specialist help you prepare your family in the present because the future is not promised. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by the World of STEM. Usually during this segment, we go over world news, entertainment news, sports news, all that good stuff. Today, we're going to do it a little differently. I'm going to ask the panel of ladies some questions, right? Just so you can get to know us a little better for our viewers. And when I ask these questions, right, whoever fits that answer, we point to them. Like, for instance, who's the host of She's Not Trendy? Tiara. Yeah. Get it? Okay. So I know we probably seen this on like the social media platforms where the couples are usually doing it like who fell in love first and they'll point. Okay. So that's the same concept we're going to do. Okay. So let's get it right into it. The first question. Who is most likely to be late for their own wedding?
Exactly. We all right.
Oh my gosh. Who is the most likely to get chased by a wild animal?
Me? Wow.
Because you're afraid of dogs.
I'm afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. I will run from them.
Okay. I don't know about this one, but who is most likely to die first in a horror film?
Oh, what? It ain't me.
A horror film.
Yeah, I'm not.
Who's the first to die in a horror film?
You're Tiara.
Probably me.
Okay. Who is most likely to hack their ex's social media account?
Tiara.
I'm gonna say Nikki.
I'm gonna say Shadad.
Yes. Okay. Who is most likely to have the highest number of Facebook, Instagram friends?
Shanae.
Okay. And the last one, who has the most money? Who is most likely to have the most money but always act like they're broke?
Between y'all.
Me, probably.
Tiara.
I can't go below a certain threshold. I'm broke. I just can't do it.
Bro, that was the round of the questions.
Okay, that was
yeah,
great.
making sure it's sweet,
Yeah.
just so our viewers can get to know us a little bit better. So that's all I had. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that lightened up the mood because I was really getting angry over here.
Yes, we had to tone it down.
I think all black mothers is going to get angry, though, right?
Yeah.
All black mothers are going to be
My
upset.
prayers are really to his family, his mom,
and for him,
his father. I don't know where his mom is at, but I know I heard about his father and grandmother. But my prayers are really to him, and I really pray that they will, that the judge that will proceed over his case will give him a fair judgment. And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It is. And, talking about spirits, we just want to make sure, right, that we are, he talks about walking in love, but we are really prayed up. And we're praying over our children that's out there because they're going to come against these spirits. And we need to pray over the squeegee workers that's out there, pray over their lives because, they are dealing with the public. And, I feel like what happens with spirits is kind of like, if you go to like a party or you go somewhere and somebody walks in and that person walks in and you say, woof, that person is got a nasty spirit or nasty energy following them, right? Either the room will change that person's energy or people will pick up that same energy. And I think that what happened, honestly, and we, it's unfortunate because the law, the world is not going to see it this way. But that man, he was angry. He had a lot of anger in him, and it served his purpose. It turned to a murdering spirit. And maybe he thought when he was yelling, I'm going to kill you, or whatever he was yelling, maybe he thought that he would be the one hurting and harming and scaring somebody. Right. But that spirit was met with another spirit, maybe another angry spirit, or maybe that angry spirit jumped, and that energy turned on him. And
maybe he wasn't even angry at the time. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Wasn't
but maybe the squeegee boy, maybe he was not. Maybe he feared
he
for
was.
his life. Yes. Oh no.
All
right. So, first things first, he was 14.
Right.
So you're a child. You're a grown man coming to a little kid.
Right.
And there's 4 of them. It's like, I don't even know this kid's background. If he even had a father figure.
Right.
If he don't have a father figure, he's a protector of his house. He has to make sure everything is good.
Right.
And he's around his brothers, I'm pretty sure, or friends or whatever. If you're swinging an object to kill one of them and you're saying, I'm going to kill you, what is he supposed to do? What if you kill one of them?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't even be questioned.
Right.
It shouldn't, but they're saying that at the time that he shot Mr. Reynolds, they're saying that he was already walking away. He was already disoriented because they already took a rock and threw it at him. And I am saying that we forget that people just don't turn on and off like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like if somebody comes in here and attacks me, whether I win or lose, I'm not going to just not be angry.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to probably be angry until next week.
Is,
you know what I'm saying?
We're not going to let that even happen. Like, we're not going to just sit here and be like, oh.
Right. It could be a spirit of fear. I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that is because when I'm in home by myself, I already pre-programmed my mind that, hey, listen, if someone comes, of course, I'm afraid that someone's going to come into my home. But my mind is to protect my children that are inside of the home. So, again, you could be moving in a spirit of fear because this grown man is coming there, approaching you, even though he's walking away at this present point in time. You don't know what's in that man's mind. He may just decide, oh, I'm act like I'm walking away. I'm going to turn around and then hit one of them with the bat.
Exactly. A gun.
Or pull out a gun or anything. And so at this present point in time, out of fear, you may have reacted, and the same thing, it's not the same comparison, but the same thing if a dog was coming to you to attack you. Even if the dog was going back and coming back, you made this out of, if you have a gun,
I'm killing your dog. I'm just telling you. So I have a gun, I'm killing your dog, and if you try to stop me, you might get shot too. I'm just letting you know that right now.
Right, and so I'm just thinking too, we don't have to say that this black man, because a lot of times we already say that our black men are angry or our black women are so angry. I'm not thinking that the young man was angry. I think that they were you said a spirit of anger.
I was saying the spirit of anger that was on Mr. Reynolds.
Okay, on Mr. Reynolds. Okay, yes. Okay.
The whole point is the
man, right, had a spirit of anger. But like you said,
it served its purpose.
It did, because the devil, what is in the Bible, it says steal and destroy, right? And so it did serve its purpose. But I am with you. I feel as though like this young man at 14 years old needs to, maybe he needs therapy, and I feel as though that the judge should have mercy on him, and I say that strongly. And it's just sad. Like it's just truly sad to hear it and to read about it. And like you said, they always want to charge our young black men with as adults.
They're not worth it. This boy, he was good at school. He never was in any trouble. He was a good child, as it was explained by his teachers, his father, his grandmother. He had never gotten in trouble before, and he was out there hustling, and he was out there trying to make money. And I think that you're right. It could have been a spirit of fear on him, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that all of that energy that was thrust toward him, even if he received it, and even if he now he's reacting in it because somebody is walking away. Number one, he's not an adult. So he doesn't have the same irrational, logical thinking that man, Mr. Reynolds, should have had by saying, you know what? When he pulled his car over, he should have thought to himself, I'm going too far. Right. He never stopped. If he can be called a victim and he never stopped to think rationally about what he was doing, how can we hold this young 14-year-old boy accountable for having rational, logical thinking? Your adrenaline is pumping. Everything is still, your body is still reacting to a threat. Yep. And I'm sorry that you're walking away now. You
should have never approached.
You should have never approached. And I think that we have to really, I not only in this case, but in self-defense cases and in cases where they say, a person, they shot him and then they had a chance to stop. No, like people's brain do not work that way. If you're going to argue with your significant other or your children, the argument can be over, but you're still processing. You're still angry. You're still processing. This boy's out in the streets protecting his money. Mm-hmm. Why did he have a gun? Because he's making $200 a day or more, right? So, it's Baltimore, right? Exactly. He can get killed over $10, right?
We don't want to say because it's Baltimore, right?
We don't want to have. I'm just saying it's Baltimore City, right? And I'm just saying that people get killed over $5, over $10, or somebody not looking at him correctly. So he's out there. Should he have a gun? It's against the law. But is he trying to protect himself? Apparently, right, from threats like this and from other types of threats. It's unfortunate, but I think that the lesson we have to get from this is that people really need to turn to God.
Yeah.
They really need to turn to God. They really need to pray. We need to really pray over our children. And if I'm not saying that Mr. Reynolds does not have God or did not have God, he just wasn't moving in his life that day, right? And I think that sometimes, let me tell you, if we're not praying, God is not moving in our life the way we should. I have been so angry that I've had road rage, okay? And I purposely hit somebody's truck because I was so angry. It cost me 3 years and insurance, payments, right? But I was so angry that day. And I was on the phone with my sister. Remember, Nikki was on the phone with her. And she kept saying, calm down, calm down. I was like, no, I'm going to hit him. And bam, and I hit him. And I pulled over to the side. We were on 695. And I was so angry that day. But that man had a spirit of peace. And he came to the window, and I was like, what is he looking at, his ugly self? And the man, I don't even know if the man, what he looked like. You know what I mean? My sister was like, Tierra, calm down. And when I finally got out the car, he was so gentle. He was so kind.
After you hit his car?
After I hit his, and he put his hand on, he said, he was like, everybody has a bad day. He said, I really didn't want to call the police, but this is a company truck. And because he was so kind to me.
So that goes back to my point about that Thanksgiving dinner. When you kill them with kindness, when you kill them with kindness,
but I'm not a typically angry person like that. I was really angry that day, right? But I had to learn. But I learned the lesson, right? Like it helped me to learn a lesson. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm not saying that this man did not have God. I'm saying that we have to always be prayed up. Yes. We have to always take time. And I'm an adult, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying that we have to always pray because nobody is above acting out of anger. Nobody is above acting out of character, right? And, you could do something that might not be as heinous as wielding a bat at a young child, but you may flip up somebody the finger, and we shouldn't be doing that. You may curse at somebody, and it could cause a whole bunch of commotion. It could cause an altercation. Somebody could go to jail. You know what I'm saying? We have to learn how to really control ourselves and our anger. And no matter what the other person is doing, we have to learn how to control ourselves. And that's just a lesson that we have to really teach our children.
Right.
And so it's unfortunate, but I pray that people will pray more from this situation. People will have more compassion. People will control themselves more, Yes. Nick, you couldn't wait to say, isn't that says killing with kindness? I mean, but you have to know yourself as well, right? And like for me, I know that if somebody, if I keep trying to humble myself to people, and if somebody keeps pushing buttons, I know I have to know myself as well. And some things you just don't put yourself in certain situations, right? Because certain situations you could really explode. Right? And then you be done smack somebody, mama or grandmother or somebody at Thanksgiving dinner. You know what I mean? You don't want that. I wouldn't smack nobody's mother or grandmother, but I'm just saying this was a fictitious, example. But I'm just saying.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I would not smack anybody's mama or grandmother or nobody. But I'm saying it can happen.
Right.
You can provoke people to anger. You can provoke the most Christian
aunt or
person.
uncle. It's like I'm just joking.
I would remove. That's why I wouldn't show up.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't show up. I would not show up. I would because I have to protect myself, my children. Only people can take but so much.
Right. I'm coming in. Hi, friends. Hi. But
No, I think like you said, Tonya, I would confront it. I would confront it to find out what do you honestly mean, because sometimes words can really get confused. People may not they may not be their intentions. They may really mean well, but it just comes off so negative. People sometimes live in a negative space and don't even realize that they're
thinking.
Right, negative Annie. So yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this was a great show, ladies.
Yes.
And I appreciate everybody's feedback. We are going to be back next week with She's Not Trendy on Coyote Show Network. She's Not Trendy on Facebook and IG, and also CoyoteManOnline.com. See you next week.
All right.
Bye.